Why humans are natural born storytellers. Storytelling is who we are at our core as a human being. I've been thinking about this a lot lately as I recognize my ever growing desire to write and share stories, not only mine, but also others. The more I write, the more I realize that stories are not just entertainment, they are the very fabric of our humanity. Ever since I started journaling when I was quite young, in grade six, I've been drawn to the power of narrative. But why? What makes us humans such natural storytellers? Storytelling is fundamental to how we make sense of the world, connect with others, and understand ourselves. When I think about it, there are several reasons why stories feel so essential to our existence. One, making sense of the world around us. Life throws so much at us: random events, countless choices, overwhelming information. Stories help us filter through the chaos. We organize our experiences into coherent narratives that make sense to us. That is one of the reasons why I journal, to transform the messy thought in my head into something I can understand and learn from. Two, creating connections with people. This is what drove me to write my second book. I realized that sharing stories creates bridges between people. When we tell our stories, we open windows into our lives that allow others to step in and feel seen and heard, get to reflect on their own stories, and ultimately create connections, create bonds. This fosters empathy in a way nothing else can. Stories have helped me connect with readers who've lived completely different lives, yet recognize pieces of themselves in my experiences. That moment of recognition is pure magic, I believe. It reminds us that we are not alone. Three, enhancing memory. Have you noticed how much easier it is to remember something when it is wrapped in a story? Our brains are literally wired this way. Before written language, stories were how knowledge and wisdom passed from generation to generation. When we listen to others talking, whether it is presentation on a stage or around the boardroom table or dinner table, figures and facts, those draw way less attention and stick to our memories way less than stories. Four, building identity and belonging. The stories we tell about ourselves shape who we become. When I was struggling with self doubt about publishing my first book, thoughts like, who was I to write a book? Wasn't that for mega geniuses? I had to rewrite the narrative I was telling myself. Our personal stories construct our identities, while collective stories like family legends, cultural traditions, national histories give us a sense of belonging to something larger than ourselves. Five, sharing the learnings for survival and growth. From an evolutionary perspective, storytelling helped early humans survive. Cautionary tales warned of dangers, stories about successful hunts preserved valuable strategies, myth explained natural phenomena that might otherwise cause fear. Even today, I find myself using stories to navigate challenges. When facing a difficult situation, I often think, what is the story I'm telling myself about this? Is there a better story I could tell? What stories will I able to tell and what learnings will I able to share after this all passes? 6. Going wild with our imagination and creativity. Stories let us imagine what does not exist. They tap into our uniquely human ability to envision alternate reality, possible futures, and innovative solutions. I absolutely cherish this very human capability of imagination and creativity. I am in my ultimate happy place when I get to let my creative juice flow and build something out of it. Storytelling is not just something we do around campfires or in books. It is happening constantly in our minds as we interpret our experiences. So I invite you to pay attention to the stories that you tell about yourself, about others, about the world. These stories have immense power. They can limit us or liberate us. They can divide or unite. They can obscure truth or illuminate it. That is why I write, because stories matter. Because through stories, through sharing our stories, we empower ourselves and connect with others in a way that nothing else allows.